Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Eric Webster. He's a lifestyle engineer, as he calls himself, and a hypnotherapist. Uh, and he helps his clients discover the deeper underlying causative factors uh, and deeply held thoughts and beliefs that are creating the outcomes they wish to modify. Then he helps them achieve their desired outcome. Welcome to the show, Eric.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. You are welcome to the show, Eric. You are welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are talking right now. We'll be talking about hypnosis for life change. But before we talk about life change, let's understand a bit about your life journey so that people, our audience, understand who they are listening to.
Okay. Well, I was in business for most of my life in a variety of ways. I owned and operated restaurants. I was a realtor selling residential properties, but I've always had a strong pull to the spiritual, the metaphysical, which has led me to be who I am now as a hypnotherapist. I work with people, English speaking people, because of my limitations all over the globe via a platform similar to this, but I help people overcome the programming that we've all received over our lifetimes from people that love us, they mean well, but they embed into our brain programming that isn't necessarily helpful, isn't necessarily allowing people to live as the best version of themselves, whether that's by smoking or by too much weight or um, so many different behavioral changes. I don't know that there's any behavioral change that can't be positively impacted with hypnosis.
Right, right, Eric. So I want to understand who are the type of people who generally come to you. I want to understand through that because you talk about weight loss, smoking cessation, sleep pattern reset, chewing tobacco, academic performance, fears, and phobia. So many things for so many people. So that's why I asked, who are your major people who try and get your help?
There's no common denominator other than their desire for change. I've had so many clients over 11 years now that come in and say, "Well, I've tried everything else and nothing works, so I figured I may as well try hypnosis because I've got nothing to lose." And if they would have started with hypnosis, they probably could have saved themselves a lot of aggravation and frustration. I don't personally work with drug addiction or alcohol addiction. I think that's a whole nother deeper level of training that I don't have. But pretty much any other behavioral type change I can help people with. I had one gentleman years ago that came for smoking cessation. He needed both of his knees replaced, and his surgeon said, "I won't touch you until you've been off the tobacco for at least 6 weeks." He walked in so much pain that in the process of helping him quit, I threw in sort of a side order of pain management in the first session. When he came in for the second session, his first words were, "I haven't had a single cigarette in a week. I don't know what you did to my knees, but could you do more of that today? And I think I've got this smoking thing handled." So we know that the mind is incredibly powerful and that most people only use just the tiniest little bit of it. And the work I do is within the subconscious mind, which is what drives the bus in all things. And it helps people really, really get to where they want to be.
Right, right, Eric. Now let's look at these things like weight loss, like smoking, like academic performance. Most of this weight loss and smoking, people say these are medical issues. How and there are solutions there in their own way. So for some it works, some it does not. How does hypnosis come into hypnotherapist you are? How does that come in? how should they understand hypnosis? As a general person, I have heard about it, but I don't know how it works actually on the ground. So tell us a bit about hypnosis and how it works in areas like weight loss, as well as other areas that we just talked about.
Well, let's start by focusing on the weight loss. I work with a process called the Virtual Gastric Band because it's all up here. But again, it resets that relationship with eating and with food. It's 4 sessions spread out about a week apart. The the upshot is it convinces the subconscious mind that a band has been put around the top part of the stomach, creating just a tiny little pouch, just like a surgery would. And so they feel fuller faster. People, though, find that it's remarkable because foods that they have really had a kind of an addiction situation with have lose their power. Um, Foods that really are not great for them, they suddenly don't like anymore. And but it goes back to all that childhood messaging around clean up your plate, you'll be a big boy or a big girl. And then you got a piece of cake or a bowl of ice cream if you overate and cleaned up your plate. We're all born with that internal wisdom. When a baby is hungry, it cries and it's fed, and when it's comfortably full, it stops. And if a mother overfeeds her baby, it's going to give it back to her unceremoniously as humans. So we're trained to ignore that wisdom, and we don't eat because we're hungry. We eat because we're angry, we're sad, we're lonely, we're bored, we're frustrated. We're obviously so distracted that we're focused on a movie or an email or a book, and we miss the signal from our stomach that says, hey, I'm good here, until we get to that place where it's like, oh, God, just shoot me. I'm so miserable, I did it again. Um, it is a powerful and remarkable process. It was clinically trialed in the UK, shown to be 95% effective. And it's my understanding that in the UK, it is part of their national health plan. I'm in the US, it's out of pocket, but it's way cheaper, way less disruptive than a surgical intervention. There's no deprivation. And I really do believe that part of the ongoing failure of diets is that they're largely based on deprivation. And you can't do that. You can't do that for life. This is a behavior modification that can be practiced for the rest of your life. It's amazing. It really is quite a powerful thing.
Right, Eric. So a lot of people who, because obesity is a big problem all across the globe. So a lot of people who maybe listen to this episode later on in the days to come, what are the some of the tips that you can give so that they can practice this particular thing, learn a bit about this, and do whatever they can for their for their weight gain issue? How does it work?
Okay. I would recommend that people go to my website at ericwebster.com. There's a lot of information and videos and testimonials so they can find out as many details as they want about the actual process. I'm also happy to do no obligation, no cost conversations with people to answer any questions or concerns. The upshot, what can they do on their own? Eat mindfully. When you're eating, have that be what you're doing. And take a bite and put your fork down. Take a bite of the sandwich, put it down. Just mindfully enjoying every bite that you put into your body. But when your body says, I'm good, respect that and honor that and push the plate away. I don't believe there are any bad foods. I think what happens is we just overfill our bodies, and in so many places the quality of the food that's available to people is pretty much barren of any nutrition, and so consequently the body is like, oh, I need more, I'm not getting the vitamins and minerals that I need. So that whole idea of eating whole foods, organic foods, not processed foods, all help reset that healthy relationship with eating and with food.
Right, Eric. Now, a lot of people think hypnosis is about hypnotizing. Somebody will sit in front of you, they will hypnotize you, and you will do as per what they say. This is a general belief. Several people have this impression. No, not including me. I am guilty of that, maybe. But that's the word, the perception. That's how would you like to tell them what hypnosis is all about? Is it about that? I'm sure it's not about that, but just putting that question to you, or is it something much more different that you instill something else in someone else's mind? I want to understand that in a bit more simple way for the common person.
Okay. So, yeah, it is sort of like that, except the subconscious mind won't allow anything that's not okay with the subject, won't allow any suggestion to land within them that isn't okay with them. And when I'm with my clients in my office, there's a branch just across the street. And I explain that and I say, for example, if I was a creep and I said to you while I had you hypnotized, and when you wake up, you'll go across the street to the bank and empty out your accounts, bring me all the money and have no memory of it, your subconscious mind is going to bat that away like a soccer goalie. It's not going to allow that thought to land and become your reality at all. There are places where hypnosis is believed to be the work of the devil, but it really is not. And in those cases, I refer to it more as relaxation techniques and mind management. Because the whole goal when I have a client in my recliner, we're both wearing our headsets and I've got the music playing softly in the background, is I talk to them in a soothing voice and I get them to go deeper and deeper. There's no spinning watch or any of that sort of thing. There can be, I guess. I don't do it that way. But it's just about getting them to relax and get out of the way. And then I make some suggestions to their subconscious mind, have them create some imagery in their mind, some visualization of the outcome that they're looking for. One of my earliest introductions into this sort of work was with Jose Silva. The Silva, it's Mind Control is the name of the book. Way back in the 70s, I was familiar with it. And then with all the cults that were around, they changed it to Silva Ultramind. But I think it's back to being Silva Mind Control. And that's pretty much self-hypnosis. And I did some work with that, just testing it out. And one of the days, it was like there were 4 ridiculous things that I programmed my mind for, because I knew if that happened, there was absolutely no explanation other than the Silva method did exactly what it was supposed to do. And I was shaving one morning and all four of the things were going on. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this stuff really works. Well, this hypnosis with a practitioner is just a bit, it's working with a professional. So it takes it out of that amateur realm of I'm helping myself, which is very, very valid. But it puts it into a different context because this is what I do every day of my life. So
Right, Eric. Now let's look at something much more different: academic performance. How does hypnosis work in academic performance? The person has to have that learning. They have to study hard for it, and then their academic performance will increase. Can it be that a person who does not study, they go for your method, and then their academic performance increases? What is it that you bring to them that their academic performance improves?
that's a great question. Oftentimes it's about exam performance, and people know the information, they've studied it, but they just choke when they're facing that exam paper. But there can be other situations where, for whatever reason they have, they just are not lined up with performing well in an academic environment. And so it can be about removing those obstacles. Sometimes they're self imposed, sometimes they've been suggested by other people. Maybe from a young age, they were taught that they were stupid, even though they weren't, or you'll never amount to anything. And the messaging that we got in our formative years meant well for the most part, but it often created some roadblocks. So I know of a registered nurse in the Lansing, Michigan area. She knew the information cold, but every time she took the exam, she choked. And she's had me help her with her RN certification and 2 or 3 different additional certifications. And when she goes in for the exams now, she's as cool as a cucumber, passes them with flying colors. It is largely about retraining the brain to get out of the way and allow the person to perform at their best possible level.
Wonderful, wonderful. What is it that these clients generally ask you? Are there any challenges that they say that they are able to not, able to understand these things? Do they believe in it? Who are it? You are telling you are getting it from referrals. That's fine. But human mind is that it has lots of questions, especially around these things. It takes time to understand these things if they have never known about it in the way their needs are. So help us understand about
Okay.
the client's mind.
It's true. I see clients in a wide range of mindsets relative to whether hypnosis is a bunch of nonsense or absolute magic. I've seen lawyers and engineers who have that analytical mind that they have to understand every aspect of everything we're doing. Those folks don't tend to go quite as deep into hypnosis, but they go deep enough in that we can still get the result that they're after. I tell people that their job is to just keep breathing and they don't have to listen to what I'm saying because their subconscious mind is always listening. Very invariably, at some point in the session, in their mind, the question of, I wonder if I'm hypnotized. I wonder if this is working. Do I feel any different? Oh, that's your conscious mind over here getting out of the way that gives me a more direct shot into the subconscious mind. So people do not have to believe in hypnosis. Hypnosis believes in them, and it can be powerful. However, if a person if they actually don't want the change, makes it really hard because in order for there to be change, there has to be change. I had an older couple that came in to quit smoking, and I really had the strong sense that neither of them really wanted to quit smoking. And they only did half of the sessions. Normally, that's a 2-session thing. Called me and said, "Yeah, we just decided we want to keep smoking." Well, it didn't work. They'd already made up their mind that they were going to continue smoking. But I've had more people, way more people, that have come in, not necessarily believing in hypnosis, but really wanting a different outcome. And absolutely, we got it there. And I give all the credit to the client. They're the ones that are making the changes and doing the work. I'm the tour guide. I'm the one that stirs around in their brain a little bit and plants some new thoughts about how life could be on the other side of whatever they're ready to let go of.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is much to learn from you about these things, Eric, and I'm sure a lot of people would want to understand more from about this from you. And those people who would want to be your client, what is the best way for them to connect with you?
Probably through the website, ericwebster.com. There are contact me buttons. There are places where they can actually schedule that 30-minute free consultation. No pressure, no cost, no obligation. Or they can, if they're ready to go, they can book their session right on the online scheduling area. But I'm always happy to have conversation with people. answer any questions, concerns, any fears, anything like that that they might have, because my reason for doing this is about helping people get to where they want to be.
Absolutely, get them where they want to be. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.